The hunt had consumed 5 years. In a nondescript CIA facility, analysts pored over fragments. A courier's phone call here, a financial transfer there. The breakthrough came from an unlikely source, one of Baghdadi's own wives captured months earlier. Under interrogation, she revealed a network of safe houses stretching across Syria's Idlib province. Kurdish intelligence operatives had tracked Muhammad Ali Sajid, a key Baghdadi associate, to a compound near Barisha village. For 5 months, they watched, documented, analyzed. Every vehicle, every visitor, every pattern of life meticulously recorded. The compound sat isolated 3 miles from the Turkish border, a 2-story structure with high walls, perfect for a man who'd spent years as the world's most wanted terrorist. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to help us reach 1,000 followers. Back to the story. 2,300 hours local time, October 26, 2019. 8 MH-47 Chinook helicopters lifted off from Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq, their rotors cutting through desert air. Inside, operators from Delta Force's squadron checked weapons, adjusted night vision. Rangers provided outer security perimeter and blocking positions, while the 161st Special Operations Aviation Regiment piloted through hostile airspace. These weren't ordinary soldiers. Each man had executed hundreds of raids, but tonight felt different. The target, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the self-proclaimed caliph whose reign of terror had enslaved thousands, beheaded journalists, burned prisoners alive. The flight path deliberately skirted Russian-controlled airspace. F-15 Strike Eagles and MQ-9 Reaper drones provided overwatch. A C-130 gunship circled, ready to unleash hell if needed. As they crossed into Syrian airspace, pilots dropped to nap at the Earth altitude, skimming olive groves and villages where families slept, unaware of history passing overhead. 0100 hours. The compound materialized in green-tinged night vision. Speakers crackled. 1 minute out. Parts hammered beneath body armor. The lead Chinook flared hard, operators fast roping into swirling dust. Immediately, automatic fire erupted from the compound. Baghdadi's guards had spotted them. The night exploded. Contact front! Door gunners on the Chinooks opened up with miniguns, streams of tracers creating walls of lead. Delta operators advanced in practice bounds, suppressing and moving. A guard with an AK-47 fell, then another. The firefight intensified, muzzle flashes strobing in darkness, the sharp crack of rifles mixing with the deeper thud of grenades. The main entrance was wired with explosives, intelligence had warned. Breach! 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 Operators placed charges on the compound wall. The explosion tore a jagged hole through reinforced concrete, showering debris. They poured through, weapons up, laser designators painting targets. Inside, chaos, women screaming, children crying. An ISIS fighter emerged from a doorway. 3 shots center mass dropped him instantly. Room by room, the operators cleared with violent precision. Military, get down, they shouted in Arabic. In one room, terrified children huddled. Despite the firefight raging, operators pulled 11 children to safety, shielding them with their bodies as they evacuated to a secure area. Baghdadi's wives were subdued, zip-tied, searched for suicide vests. Information poured through radios. 2nd floor clear, 5 EKIA. No joy on jackpot. Where was Baghdadi? Then they found it. A tunnel entrance partially hidden beneath debris. The operators knew Baghdadi's tactics. Tunnels were death traps, likely rigged with explosives. This was where technology met raw courage. They released their secret weapon, Conan, a 4-year veteran Belgian Malinois with over 50 combat missions. The dog shot into the tunnel like a missile, his handler maintaining contact through the specialized collar camera. Behind, Delta operators followed, night vision barely penetrating the earth and darkness. The tunnel stretched deeper than expected, walls closing in, barely wide enough for a man in full kit. Suddenly, movement ahead. Conan had found him, Baghdadi, with 3 children, cornered at a dead end. The terrorist who'd orchestrated genocide now faced his pursuers in the darkness. Baghdadi clutched something beneath his robes, a suicide vest. In that instant, facing capture, he made his choice. The explosion shook the tunnel, collapsing sections, filling the air with dirt and smoke. The The blast killed Baghdadi and the 2 children he'd condemned to die with him, his final act of cowardice and cruelty. Do you think any other special forces have found him and eliminated him that quickly? Make sure to tell me what you think in the comments. Baghdadi's final moments weren't those of a warrior prophet, but a cornered criminal who murdered children rather than face capture. Conan was thrown back, wounded by the blast and exposed electrical cables, yelping in pain, but alive. Operators pulled the dog to safety, administering first aid while others began the grim task of recovery. The tunnel partially collapsed, but Delta operators excavated enough remains for positive identification, scraping DNA from what remained of Baghdadi's body, torn apart by his own explosive vest. Back at the compound, operators conducted sensitive site exploitation, gathering laptops, phones, and documents as Syrian and Russian forces closed in. Within 15 minutes, the DNA field test confirmed what the world would soon know. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was dead. Jackpot eliminated, crackled over encrypted channels. Prepare for exfil. Chinooks lifted off as F-15s leveled the compound. No shrine would mark where the butcher of ISIS died. Dawn broke over Iraqi airspace. Mission duration, 2 hours. American casualties, 0 killed, 1 wounded. Conan, who would recover fully. 6 ISIS fighters were killed, 11 children saved, and terabytes of intelligence recovered. Weeks later, Conan would visit the White House, receiving a medal and praise from the president, a symbol of American special operations' unmatched capability. Baghdadi's death sent shockwaves through ISIS and affiliated groups. Already territorially defeated, ISIS lost its symbolic leader. Recruitment plummeted, groups distanced themselves, and the caliphate that once controlled territory the size of Britain was truly dead. Its leader reduced to fragments in a collapsed. If you enjoyed this deep dive, like, subscribe, and share for more behind-the-scenes military stories.